Welcome to the Solid Signal podcast for the week of February 6th, 2023. Did y'all watch the Grammys last night? Personally, I didn't because I have to say I'm not a real big fan of popular music anymore. When back in my in younger days, I guess I was, but I think that's true of a lot of people, that your tastes kind of set a little bit as you get older and you don't necessarily get interested in popular music. But there's a lot of good stuff out there, and I congratulate the winners, even if I do not know who they are. But that's not really the subject of this week's podcast. This week's podcast is about King. Now, I don't believe I've ever really talked about them as a company, and I really should be. King is a company a lot like Solid Signal. We're really good partners in that way. We both started about the same time. We both started with visionary people who had an idea that nobody else had and was able to bring it to market in a way that nobody else could. And we've both grown into companies that really have focused on serving the customer's needs in new and innovative ways. And they've grown into a great partner for Solid Signal, especially lately. And I think it's time for me to tell you a little bit more about King, because if you don't know, well, then it's time to find out. King has been a strong partner of ours and one of our primary brands for a long time, but we haven't really been focusing on them as much. But that's changed. If you go to solidsignal.com/King, you will find the top selling products in the King line, all available from Solid Signal, all available at the best possible price with the best possible shipping. It's all right there for you. And this is good stuff. A lot of people associate King with their gumdrop shaped satellite dishes that you put down on a level surface and they just kind of aim themselves. And that's what they should, because honestly, that's kind of the flagship product for King. That's been their big product for many, many years. And as I have said before in other videos, it's a really cool idea. A self-aiming satellite dish is not an easy thing to do. And the fact that they are able to pull this off in a price point which is completely out of sync with what other companies are doing. I mean, they've got it in at a really, really very reasonable price point. If you take a look at some of those InMotion satellite dishes from our partners like Intellian, they're often 4 times the price of a King product. Now, it doesn't mean that they're poor quality. It means they're a different thing. An InMotion product is going to be more expensive because it's constantly re-aiming, where a self-aiming product for a tailgate, for example, is only going to aim once and it's just going to work. So the point is they bring quality down to that level, and they've done it in a way that's also kind of cool and stylish. I loved it when they changed over their satellite line so that you could actually see what was going on in the dome. Because, it's a little bit of a show when you go to put it down and you see the thing move around and finally settle into where it should settle. And that's just an extra added bit of fun. And it gives you kind of the feeling like, you're really seeing the tech. And it's kind of like Terminator-like tech in a sense. Very, very fun to watch when it's first aiming. And as much as I talk about King products and their satellite stuff, and I really, and it's good quality satellite stuff made by passionate people, that's not just all there is. I've learned that King does a lot more than I thought they did. They do the best antennas for RVs. Now, it's true you can't really get over-the-air antenna signals when the RV is moving today, but with some hope, if we do manage to move into the next generation of broadcasting, then you will. And if you're able to receive test signals in the market that you're in with your RV, you will be able to get all of that while your RV is moving. You just need to have all the technology in place to do it. And that's where King is way ahead of the game. They've got this stuff all ready for you, and the technology isn't even there yet, which is pretty impressive, I gotta say. They're also really big in some really cool Wi-Fi technology, cellular technology. If you've got an RV, you know that more and more RV parks are coming with in-park Wi-Fi, but you kind of need to be outside the RV in order to get it, because the RV itself is blocking signals pretty effectively. This is something that a lot of people who have cell phones are realizing about their RV, and that, the RV itself does a great job of blocking cell phone signals also. And they've got Wi-Fi systems and cellular systems that will bring those weaker signals right into your RV, pump them out nice and strong, and you'll get the ability to use your devices where you want to use them, not just when you want to use them, which I think is actually kind of cool and important. You know, the RV lifestyle is something that really came roaring back about, well, 2 years ago, when a lot of us really just were anxious to do anything at all to leave our homes. And so since then, RVing has become kind of a pastime for a lot of people who never thought that they would really ever want to do that. And King has become a really, really important part of that. King's customer service is excellent. Their products are excellent, and I can't recommend them enough, especially since I've talked to some of the folks over there and realized they're my kind of folks. I mean, these are passionate individuals who just love the tech that they're working on. And I got to say, I'm one of those people too, and that's why we got along really well. Working with Solid Signal and King, see, if you get King products and you get them from Solid Signal, you're kind of getting the best of both worlds, because you're getting all of the satellite activation specialists that Solid Signal has to offer, and you're getting the great King products as well, which is kind of, that's the best of both worlds. And as we look forward, I got to say, what I'm seeing from King looking toward the future, it's exciting stuff. This is not a company resting on its laurels. This is a company that's thinking about what we need for the next part of the 21st century. Because, folks, it's 2023. It's not enough to just say, oh, we're 21st century focused, because that could mean that you're focused on 2002, and that's just kind of not enough. But looking at the next generation of products, I think that you're going to be as excited as I am as we look into the future, because there's great stuff out there. Anyway, I know I'm pushing King a little bit hard, but that's just because I was so impressed when I talked to their people and looked at their product selection for the first time in a while. I'll probably be doing some more content having to do with King as we move forward, because it's just a quality brand, and I love talking about quality brands. I don't like coming to you and telling you something is good when it really isn't, just because we want to sell it. That's not the kind of person that I am. When I get excited about something, I want to share that excitement with people, and that's what I'm doing here when it comes to King. But anyway, check out what we've got at solidsignal.com/King. Or if you want to talk to somebody who can really help you out, then what you got to do is call 888-233-7563. That's 888-233-7563. And the folks on the other end of the line will answer the phone, answer the questions you have, and even be able to take that order over the phone if you want. Anyway, enough with a hard sell for this week. That's about it for the Solid Signal podcast. I hope everyone has a great week. Especially, I guess since I started here, I will end with congratulating the Grammy winners and those folks, especially the folks in the technical categories. I am a technical guy, and as much as I like to see the recording artists win things, I also really dig it when the technical categories highlight advancements in technology that we just didn't have before. I mean, heck, if it weren't for those people working hard to advance the technology, we'd all be working on, listening to wax records on our wind-up Victrolas, and nobody wants that, especially in your car. But that's another whole story. Do me a big favor, if you like what you're hearing, like and subscribe, leave a comment wherever you listen to this podcast. It makes me look good to my bosses. And tell a friend about the Solid Signal podcast. We're not the biggest podcast in the world, I grant you that. We get more views in a year, probably about the same amount that some of those bigger podcasts get in a day. But, I think that if we're all out there, kind of sharing what we like with people who we know, then this podcast will continue to grow as it has for the last 10 years. And that's all thanks to you. Anyway, I hope that all of you have a great week, and I will talk to you again next time.